The sun dips below the horizon, casting long, twisted shadows through the ancient trees of a forest near Korea. As the last light fades, an unsettling quiet settles over the woods. The air grows cold, carrying the scent of damp earth and decay. Locals know this place by a single whispered rule: never stay past twilight. But for those who dare to venture close, they speak of a sound that begins precisely at 9 p.m. It is not the howl of a wolf or the cry of a bird. No, it's something far more human yet utterly inhuman. A laughter high-pitched, fragmented, echoing through the canopy as if coming from 100 invisible mouths. It starts softly, almost playful, but soon twists into a jagged, maddening cackle that seems to seep into the bones. Some say it's the ghost of a child lost centuries ago. Others whisper of a more ancient spirit, one that feeds on fear, but no one has ever stayed to find out, not willingly. And as the clock strikes 9, the forest holds its breath, waiting for the next soul to wander too close. At 9 a.m. the next morning, the forest reveals its grim secret. A hiker's tent is found abandoned near the tree line, the zipper half open, a sleeping bag spilling out onto the damp ground. His backpack sits untouched, a half-eaten granola bar still inside. But the hiker himself is nowhere to be found. Search parties fan out, calling his name, their voices swallowed by the dense foliage. The trail they follow leads deeper into the woods, past twisted roots and branches that seem to reach out like gnarled fingers. And then they see it, a single footprint pressed into the mud, pointing toward a massive hollow oak tree. The tree's bark is scarred with what look like claw marks, and from inside the hollow comes a faint, lingering smell of rot. The searchers hesitate. They remember the stories, they remember the laughter, and as they back away, a twig snaps somewhere behind them. They turn, but there's nothing there, just the wind, or so they tell themselves. By noon, the search has grown desperate. The missing hiker, a man named Junho, was an experienced trekker who knew these trails well. He would not have wandered off without reason. His phone is found at the base of the hollow oak, the screen cracked, the battery dead. When the police retrieve it and recharge it, they find a single voice recording time-stamped 9:03 p.m. from the night before. The audio is grainy at first, just the sound of wind and rustling leaves. Then, faintly, the laughter begins. It is distant, almost melodic. But then it grows closer. The recording picks up Junho's voice, trembling, whispering, "Who's there?" A pause, and then the laughter erupts loud, shrill, right next to the phone. The recording cuts off with a scream that is abruptly silenced. The officers exchange glances. No one knows what to say. The case is closed without explanation, and the forest is cordoned off, marked with warning signs. But the laughter still comes every night at 9 p.m., and the forest still waits, patient and hungry for the next one who stays too late. In the forest near Korea, where the trees grow thick and the shadows never quite fade, there is a sound that locals have learned to dread. Every night, as the clock strikes 9, the silence is broken by laughter. Not the joyful laughter of children playing or friends sharing a joke, but something else entirely, something hollow, echoing, and deeply wrong. The laughter drifts through the pines and over the moss-covered rocks, curling around the trunks like a whisper you can't quite catch. Those who have heard it say it sounds human, but not quite human enough. It's as if someone or something is trying to mimic the sound of joy, but has forgotten what joy actually feels like. The forest has always been a place of mystery, but this particular phenomenon has turned it into a place of fear. No one dares to be near those woods when the hour approaches. They lock their doors, close their curtains, and try to ignore the sound that creeps through the night air, but ignoring it doesn't make it go away. The laughter comes every single night, punctual and relentless. Like a clockwork nightmare, morning breaks over the forest, but the light does little to warm the chilling memory of the previous night. By 9 a.m., the park rangers have already begun their routine check of the trails. Today, however, is different. A hiker, a young man from the city, eager to explore the legendary woods, has not returned. His car remains parked at the trailhead, keys still in the ignition. His backpack lies unzipped by a stream, contents spilled like an offering, a half-eaten granola bar, a water bottle, a map marked with circled destinations. But of the man himself, there is no trace, no footprints leading away, no signs of struggle, only a strange silence where birds should be singing. The rangers call out his name, their voices swallowed by the dense foliage, and then they hear it again, faint, drifting from deeper within the forest, that same laughter now distorted, almost mocking. The sound seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. The men exchange glances, their faces pale. They know the stories, they know better than to follow. But protocol demands a search, and so with trembling hands and racing hearts, they step forward into the gloom, leaving behind the world of sunlight and safety. The search party moves deeper into the forest, leaving the known paths behind. The trail they follow has not been used in years, overgrown with thorny vines and roots that seem to grasp at their ankles like clawed hands. The trees here grow in unnatural curves, their bark scarred with markings that resemble old Hangul script, worn and indecipherable. One of the rangers, an old man with gray hair and a weathered face, stops. He remembers a legend his grandmother told him, a tale of a woman who lost her child in these woods, her grief so deep it transformed into a curse. Now her spirit roams, laughing to lure the living into the abyss. As if summoned by the memory, the laughter returns. Louder now, closer. It seems to circle them, bouncing from trunk to trunk, a sinister symphony of glee. The group presses on, following the sound, until they stumble upon a clearing. In the center lies a single object, the hiker's shoe neatly placed on a mossy stone. Beside it, scratched into the dirt, is a crude smile. The youngest ranger feels a cold breath on his neck. He spins around and sees nothing there, but when he looks back, the shoe is gone. The laughter erupts around them, triumphant and deafening. They run, branches whipping at their faces, the sound of their panicked footsteps drowned by the cacophony of mirth that chases them through the maze of trees. The old ranger shouts for them to stay together, but his voice is swallowed by the noise. He feels a tug at his sleeve and glances down. A small pale hand grips his arm, icy cold. He jerks away and keeps running. The laughter does not stop until they burst out of the forest, gasping for air. But when they count their group, one of them is missing. In a forest near Korea, something is wrong. Every night, precisely at 9 o'clock, a strange laughter echoes through the trees. It's not a human laugh, it's too hollow, too sharp, and it lasts just a few seconds before the woods fall dead silent again. Locals have learned to stay indoors at that hour, but a hiker, unfamiliar with the legend, went exploring last week. He never came back. The next morning at 9 a.m., the police found his tent still zipped, his phone still recording, and his sleeping bag empty. There were no signs of a struggle, just a faint, scratching sound on the audio file right before the laughter began. They burst out of the forest, gasping, covered in scratches and shaking. The sun is high now, bright and indifferent. Behind them, the woods are silent once more. But the rangers know they have only escaped, not won. Later that day, a search party returns to the clearing with dogs and drones. They find nothing, no hiker, no shoe, no smile scratched into the earth. The only sign anything happened at all is a faint echo that lingers in their minds, a laughter replayed on a loop. That night, as 9 p.m. approaches, the forest near Korea will again fill with that eerie sound. And somewhere in the darkness between the trees, another pair of eyes will open, hungry for a new voice to join the chorus. The hiker is gone, but his laughter may now be part of the woods forever. For those who listen closely, they say you can hear him, just one more lost soul, giggling in the eternal twilight, waiting for the next stranger to share the joke.